It's time for the Brouhaha Sports Show. Brouhaha Sports with award-winning sports writer Dale McKee and co-host Marshall Wood. Talking sports with the legends of the game and famous sports personalities. Brouhaha. Now to Marshall and Dale with tonight's guest.
Good evening, everyone, and it's Brouhaha time here on WABO, coming to you from Waynesboro, Mississippi. Marshall Wood, Dale McKee, and the Brouhaha. How you doing, buddy? Being Dale.
I am doing really, really good, Mr. Marshall Wood.
Yeah. What's going on in the world of sports? Anything exciting happening out there?
Well, we had a good weekend of football. State of Mississippi, Southern Miss, Ole Miss, Mississippi State all won, so that's always good.
Yeah. You know, let's talk about those a little bit. We can start with Southern. I mean, that's a big win over Appalachian State for them. Is that a conference game too?
It was, yeah.
Man,
Now App State, as everybody calls them, they had a bunch of transfers too because I believe they've got a new coach too.
Okay.
So I think the old coach got promoted because he had such good years over there.
Yeah.
So but they used 3 quarterbacks. They looked like the old USM. USM would use 3 or 4 quarterbacks in a game last couple of years. Just trying to find one that could throw the ball. And so, it was a good win for them. Their defense really turned the game around. They had Southern Miss had a 99-yard interception return, and they picked off 2 other passes of the, I believe they call the Mountaineers, inside the 10-yard line. And so Southern stopped at least 3 touchdowns there and ended up scoring one themselves. And the quarterback, Braylon Braxton, had a good game, threw for pretty close to 300 yards and a couple scores. So they're really improving. Got a big game at Louisiana Tech this week. Tech played a really good game against LSU last week and the week before, and won. Only lost in Baton Rouge like 23-7.
Ooh.
So Southern's gonna have their hands full this week, and it's. I always thought that this 3-game stretch right here, App State, Louisiana Tech, and Jacksonville State next week, would determine if Southern Miss was going to have a winning season or not.
Yeah.
So if they can capture this one and next week, they're going to be looking pretty good.
Yeah, that's off to a great. Winning the first one, that's a great place to start when you're 1 up as you go to the next one, buddy. It's a great place to start.
One at a time.
I was excited. I saw some videos coming out of that locker room after the game, man. They were celebrating and having a good time. And I tell you what, a little success. Well, the old saying, success begets success. So maybe we'll turn the corner over there with our Golden Eagles. Sure hope so, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Well, that was their first conference win in 3 years. So
wow.
That's even more exciting.
Wow. Anything else on the Golden Eagles? Was it a pretty good crowd?
There was a decent crowd. It probably wasn't like it was the previous 2 weeks, but no one expected that. But I think the crowds are going to start picking up.
Yeah.
Because, it's like anything else. People like to follow winners.
Yeah, just win, baby. That's what our old brother Al always said.
Yeah.
Well, let's kind of keep it around. Yeah, let's kind of keep it in Mississippi and talk about some sports. We talked about Southern Miss. I know there may be some other Mississippi things, but you want to talk about the Rebels a little bit? I tell you what, that was a big, big win for the Rebels. And I tell you what, I was shocked, at the performance of Trinidad. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, nobody really expected that. He looked, I was telling somebody, he looked so comfortable out there in that game. It didn't look like it phased him. It was like the game had slowed down. They've always said a quarterback has to let the game slow down no matter what level they're at. Each level is different. The speed of the game, if you transfer from junior high to high school to college, the speed of the game, pros, and he just looked so comfortable. I was so impressed with him. He ran the ball, at crucial times when he had to, and he just made plays. I mean, it's like Kiffin said after the game, says, we recruited him because we felt like he had the it factor. And so, he kind of proved it the other day. And, of course, Austin Simmons came in on one leg, and when Trinidad got hurt, and for a play or two there, and he came in and he ran, which the play was not called for him to run, but he ran anyway, picked up a crucial first down, and he threw a touchdown pass, and then he didn't ever play again the rest of the night. But he in the end, they needed every point they could get because in the end, Arkansas missed 2 field goals, and Ole Miss came up with just unbelievable, the only turnover of the game, I believe, and they got in with like less than 2 minutes to go, and then they made 2 crucial first downs to keep the drive going, and they never did have to give the ball back up. So that's a lot different from last year's Ole Miss team, which the games they've lost against Kentucky and Florida and LSU, they couldn't make a first down late in the ball game.
Yeah.
And so the running attack has really improved. They're really doing good there. And like I said, I think after the game, you could see on TV for just a short time. They didn't have it long, but you could see a lot of the players running out there and almost wanting to lift Trinidad up, because they were so happy for him and so proud that he came in and performed so well.
I'm telling you what, he was dropping some dimes out there, man. I mean, he can sling it. He can run it, but I'm telling you what, that cat can throw that football. I was amazed and surprised, pleasingly.
I think everybody was like, okay, where'd this guy come from now? It was one of those deals, you know. And so that was great, I was proud for him. Yeah. And, like I said, I was proud for all 3 of them winning. And, of course, Mississippi State really didn't have a lot of competition. And they did something that's highly unusual in college football. They ran the clock in the second half. They reduced the quarters from 15 minutes to 10 minutes. So it's called the uncle rule. Yeah. You just holler uncle, and it's like we need to get out of here and not get anybody else hurt. So I really felt sorry for Alcorn. I mean, the players knew going up there, hey, we're going to get a paycheck. Yeah. Yeah. This is going to pay for meals and travel and everything else, So, you just feel for teams that are mismatched like that. I mean, you really do,
I can remember, I can remember still Southern Miss sometimes has to make a few games like that where they go make a couple of $1 million for a pretty good whipping. I mean, we've seen that happen. We go to Nebraska and places like that. I mean, it is what it is. You got to have money. And sometimes you got to go on the road to get it, brother, but whatever it takes, you got to have it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that's Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Southern Miss. Big day for the state. Big day for the state. I tell you what, we've been going at it about 8 minutes or so. You want to take a break and hear from one of our sponsors? Dale and I are going to do that right now. We're going to take a break to hear from our sponsor, and then Dale and I are going to be back with a surprise for you in just about a minute. So we'll see you after the break.
Phillips Building Supply in Laurel, your hometown building supply store since 1954. We are locally owned and pride ourselves on helping our customers find exactly what they need. From foundations to roofs to doors and windows, Phillips has it. For tools, hardware, lumber, and plywood, visit Phillips Building Supply.
Welcome back, everybody, and boy, do we really have a surprise for you tonight. Dale, you want to tell them, you want me to tell them?
I'll let you tell them.
Our surprise tonight is that it's Dale and I. We've decided to fly this thing, not solo, but, pilot and co-pilot kind of deal with no guest tonight. So we are our own guest. Dale, who's going to be the guest? Me or you? You be the guest.
Well, I'll be for a little bit, and then I might let you be the guest.
Oh, anything stick out? I'm going to tell you, we're talking about sports. I found something out pretty interesting. And we can get back to some other things, but I found this out kind of mistaken. About a couple of weeks when we got an off day in Wayne County, I was going to take a trip up to Chattanooga for my 50th high school reunion, and we're going to go to a football game up there with our big rival, Baylor versus McCallie. And I was looking around, and I found out, guess McCallie has won 5 of the 6 last state championships in their division in Tennessee, and they beat Baylor for the state championship. Baylor beat them in the regular season last year, and then McCallie beat Baylor in the state championship game. Guess who's going to play McCallie week after next?
Are they from Mississippi?
Heidelberg, Mississippi. Now, listen to this. McCallie football is a program of extended excellence. The Blue Tornado football team has 8 consecutive appearances in the playoff semifinals and has won 5 state championships in the last 6 years, with the 5th title won in 2001. The team competes in Division II Class AAA, the state's toughest and most competitive division. We got a call coming in. We'll just get rid of that right there. Let's let that take its place. But Heidelberg won the 2A state championship last year. And so far this year, they lost to Knoxville County 44-32, while defeating Quitman 48-7, Harrison Central 50-7 so far this season. So far, McCallie has wins over Lipscomb Academy, and you might remember that's where Deuce Knight went for a while to play at Lipscomb a couple of years ago, the quarterback from George County. And McCallie beat Lipscomb 56-20, Hebron Christian 24-8, Father Ryan 52-0. That's out of Nashville. And they got one loss to Ensworth. These are all nationally ranked type teams, 10-20. Heidelberg is going to go to Chattanooga, Tennessee, to play McCallie. That's quite a trip, Dale.
Yeah, I would think so. It is kind of surprising. What date is that?
That's going to be a week from Friday. They're going to go up there and play Heidelberg and McCallie. The Oilers and the.
Oh, so it's not this Friday. It's following Friday.
It's the following Friday.
Okay.
But I'm going to be up there the following week after McCallie and Heidelberg play. I go back. I go the following week to watch Baylor, my school, and McCallie play. So I just find that how in the world could a match between a private school, nationally ranked, I think Baylor's 44 in the nation right now, and McCallie's probably in the mid-50s. I read that this morning. Going up there to take a nationally ranked team from Heidelberg, I'm just excited about that. That ought to be a cool matchup. Heidelberg can go up there and make a name for themselves on a national level, winning that football game.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. I'm surprised, but you know, in a way, you know, after you win a state championship, it's hard to schedule games. It's Marcus Bowles or Todd Mangum or anybody that's won a bunch of state championships. It's just hard. People don't want to play you, and especially, I mean, with Heidelberg's, I believe, is I don't know if they're 2A or 3A.
They're 2A.
I'm not sure.
They're 2A.
Yeah, but you don't. The thing about it is you can't play a 1A play because nobody's going to play you. Yeah. And then these 4 and 5A schools are scared of you because they don't want to get beat by a 2A team. Yeah. So who do you have to schedule sometime? Because Mississippi High School didn't do anybody any favors, and I hate to say this, but when they went to the 6-team divisions, that means a lot of these schools are trying to schedule 7 games. Yeah. The old formula was you played 7 district games, and you only had to schedule, 4 if you wanted to play 11, or 3 if you wanted to play 10. So, it's everybody's looking for games, Yeah. And I know why Mississippi High School did it, because they wanted to have the other division, and they just thought more teams would make the playoffs. And, of course, they thought it would help them money-wise, and they thought it would help the teams money-wise. So I understand all that, but it's a scheduling nightmare for some of these programs, especially programs with great traditions.
What would you think?
Oak Grove's going through the same thing, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what would it cost to take a school from Heidelberg, Mississippi to Chattanooga, Tennessee to get them up there? I guess you got to get rooms. Would you spend 2 nights or 1 night? How would you do that?
I would assume that you had to do 2 nights. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Maybe McCauley's helping them on that end.
Well,
I'm
they
not
may
sure.
be. They may be.
Yeah. They may be. Say, hey, we'll help you, give so much money. We'll feed you. And things like that. But it's like I said, and I'm sure they're not going to take a yellow bus up there.
No, probably not.
So,
well, anyway, I just thought that was highly unusual matchup, and I'm excited about it and looking forward. And I'll tell you what, the McCauley is our dire enemy of the Baylor Red Raiders, so we're pulling for Heidelberg. I can promise you that.
yeah, but y'all got Marshall Manning coming, right?
That's right, Manning. Matter of fact, he's already there. He's in the 8th grade and enrolled, and he is dressing for the varsity games, by the way.
So, I'm sure Peyton will be there. Go up and talk to Peyton. See if you can get him as an interview on one of our shows.
Hey, I say, I got something in common. My name's Marshall too. So, so plus we're both Baylor students, so, I can probably get in with the Mannings. I'm going to give them a shot. Speaking of the Mannings, man, how bad is Arch? Golly. What in the world? How do you explain that?
I felt for the boy. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on you. And, people want you to be perfect. And, who was that last, somebody, Ty Simpson, week before last for Alabama was 17 for 17. Do they expect you to be like Ty Simpson? I mean, and Ty Simpson is, I think him and Arch went to camps together because I know Ty's father, and I think they all went to camps back in that day, and I think it was Ty and Marshall, and there was a Marshall Walker Howard that's down in Louisiana now, and the Altmaier kid from Illinois. They used to all go to around the same camps. They were all about the same age, and I think when you get guys like that, they all end up going to different schools. Because you don't want to really get a bunch of really 5-star quarterbacks all in one class.
Yeah.
And that usually doesn't work. You want to get them in every class, but not just one class,
Yeah.
And so, so that was, so that's kind of, so that was kind of the way that history was. But
let me tell you
and
this.
I did hear Walker Howard may be out for the year.
He's out for the year.
I think
he is out.
Yeah. I thought he was.
Yeah.
So. Maybe he'll get a medical red shirt and get back to play next year for him.
That's the plans. I've talked to some folks that knows the family, and they said their plans are to try to get a medical red shirt so he can play again. I saw this little note, Steve Sarkisian's blunt message to struggling Arch Manning during the Texas UTEP game. When asked at halftime about the challenges the offense was facing, Sarkisian revealed what needed to change and also threw in a jab at Manning. Well, a fun jab. It said, well, we just got to get a little rhythm at quarterback, Sarkisian said. I told Arch before the season, you've never really been a quarterback until they boo you. So he got booed in the first half. Now it's time he can start playing. How many I tell you what, they were booing him, man. They were booing him. And I can't blame him, man. He has looked terrible. He's throwing off a 1 foot, sidearm, everything else. He looks like he's totally out of sync, man. And he wasn't that way last year. I mean, I guess just the pressure just wears on you, no matter what your name is, huh?
Yeah. I'm not sure what early game I watched Saturday. I'm getting old. I can't remember. But the one I kind of watched the whole was Georgia and Tennessee. I thought that was just, you didn't know what was going to happen, Tennessee looked like they had it, man. They were going home with a win. And then all of a sudden the kicker misses a field goal, And, and then it goes into overtime and they end up losing,
Yeah.
And so, I did hear a good joke today, though.
Oh, you got a joke? Let's hear it.
There was, a Tennessee-Georgia joke.
Oh, yeah.
These 2 guys were going to be executed. One of them was from Tennessee and one of them was from Georgia. So they asked the guy from Tennessee, said, what is your last wish? And he said, well, I'd like somebody to sing all the words to Rocky Top to me. And so they asked the guy from Georgia, said, what is your wish? I'd like to go first.
Yeah, go ahead and put me out of my misery. I don't want to listen to that.
I don't want to listen to Rocky Top no more. Now, I texted somebody during the game, one of my good friends, and I said, I think I'm going to know. Well, this is the first quarter when Tennessee was just running up and down the field, and I said, I'm going to know every word to Rocky Top by halftime.
Yeah.
The way it was going,
Yeah.
So, no, it was an exciting game, And in the end, football's about a keep-away game, but it's also about ever who makes the most mistakes is going to lose the ball game.
Yeah.
There's just not really, it's very few occasions that you lose a football game and make more mistakes than the people that you played.
Yeah. That's probably, I can't argue with that. I'll buy that for $1. Hey,
Okay.
love it. Let's change the topics a little bit here. We'll move kind of over to the NFL a little bit. I saw where Joe Burrow's got hurt, man. He's had some injury problems when he's been in the league, has he not? His schedule right now looks like he's going to have surgery on his toe and miss 3 months, according to the AP.
Oh, my.
Hadn't he missed a bunch of games?
That's going to hurt them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he get hurt a year or two ago and miss a season or half a season? Or do you remember?
Oh, well, he missed a lot of games, but I think he ended up coming back. But the thing about Joe is I still think he's one of the I think he's one of the best, if not the best quarterback out there. I know people say so-and-so and so-and-so. I don't know who's better than Joe Burrow. Tell me somebody better.
Well, tell me somebody's got better receivers.
Quarterbacks on better teams, but there's nobody better.
He's got some pretty good receivers they played college with too, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, I watched.
He got the receivers he wanted.
Yeah. I watched the Super Bowl rematch and got a little article here talking about turning into bully ball, highlighted by the NFL's ugliest play. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and the Philadelphia Eagles pushed literally their way past Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs 20-17 on Sunday. Hurts scored a touchdown on the tush push, and the Eagles used the play 7 times to help hand the Chiefs their first 3-game losing streak with Mahomes and send them to their first 0-2 start since 2014. They tried to ban this tush push thing. The Packers made a proposal to ban it, but it fell 2 short. I don't know how many votes it would have taken to ban the tush push, but they fell 2 votes short of banning it. What do you think about? It's just about impossible to stop on the goal line. What do you think about that tush push business, Dale? You think it's a place for it in football? Or ought to get rid of it?
If it's not a penalty, back in the old days, if you were running back and you pushed your quarterback in the end zone, it was a penalty.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they did away with that rule years ago. And the other thing is, just like Denver lost Sunday, Baltimore or Indianapolis attempted a field goal. And they were, I think Denver was up 28-26. And it was going to be the last, maybe one of the last plays of the game. And the Colts kicker missed the field goal. And they threw a flag, and they got the Denver for pushing the center.
Yeah.
Pushing the center, okay?
Yeah.
The center cannot be supposedly blocked or something like that. And I was just wondering, okay, what's the difference between the center going after somebody and then not being able to be hit on a kick?
Yeah.
Well, they had to do the kick over, and the Colts made it, and the Colts won the game,
Now, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. You talking about going after the center on a kick or from a play from scrimmage?
On the kick, they went after the center. They tried to jump over the center.
Okay, is that illegal?
And they fell into it. Yes, that's a penalty if you jump and use somebody's body as leverage too.
What if you don't need? What if you don't need the body for leverage?
I think they used one of their teammates' leverage to try to get the jump.
Okay.
And so anyway, so I don't know. I'm just saying if that's a penalty, I would assume if you're trying to protect the center, why are you letting the center get pushed and have
Well, there's a big difference.
People fall on him that weigh 300 pounds on the other team.
There's a big difference from snapping from somebody behind you, like a kicker or a punter or a place kicker, than snapping. You don't. I played center, and it's not the same universe when you snap it to somebody that's standing back there as you snapping it to a quarterback who's got his hands under there like a regular snap. You don't need protecting when that quarterback's got his hands under there and you can snap it to him. It's a totally different setup, buddy, and you got to protect those guys on those long snaps. And the tush push is not a long snap, so that prospect does not come into play. He's under center when he does that. Listen to this. Tom Brady pointed out that 2 Philadelphia's offensive linemen moved early when Hurts was pushed into the end zone for the 20-10 lead. Replays showed that the Eagles got away with a false start, and after Hurts appeared to lose the ball but was ruled down to gain a first down on a play in the final 2 minutes, Fox Rules and analyst Dean Blandino said, "I'm done with the tush push, guys. It's hard to play. It's hard to officiate. But it doesn't sound like it's going anywhere. If you want to stop it, stop it." Go get them, Tigers.
Yeah, it's really difficult to stop. Of course, we're talking about football for a minute. I got tickled at the LSU coach. They beat Florida 20-10, and a sports writer asked him, if he's concerned about his offense or something like that, and he said, "What?" He said, "We won the game."
Yeah. He said, "That's the first question." Yeah. Is that the first question, really?
Well, we ran the plays we needed to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
Well, you hadn't seen his apology, have you?
Yeah.
Have you seen his apology?
What's that?
Have you seen his apology?
Who, the coach?
Yeah, he apologized today in a news conference he apologized. He apologized to the press, and he apologized specifically to the reporter that was asking the questions. He apologized. He said I was out of line.
Yeah.
Personally.
Well, when you get them right after the game, it's tough. I a lot of times when I was doing high school games, I would tell the coach before the game says, "Listen, I know you got a lot of stuff to do after the game, meeting with your team and stuff like that, and just fans coming by and hugging on your family and stuff like this. I'll give you a call about 11 o'clock, and could you give me a couple quotes?" And I think they like that better because then they're in a mode that they can accept you. But right after the game, 10, 15 minutes after the game, the coach is still feeling it. Everything's going through his head, all the mistakes they made, what they need to work on, and then these guys are bringing up stuff that's almost, as a sports writer, when you're sitting up in the stands or in the press box, if you open the window, the fans are going to find the questions for you to answer. To ask the coach after the game. Because a sports writer's job is to represent the fans talking to the coach, because every fan can't come up and talk to the coach. So you go and ask the coach. You say, okay, back when you had that 3rd and 6 play, what was going through your mind? You don't question the call that they made. You just said, what led you to call this play or your 3rd and 1 play when you threw the ball instead of running it and then didn't make it? What was going through your head? You're trying to get the coach to explain to the fans why you did it. And so, if you listen to the fans, they're going to come up with 3 or 4 questions in ball game for you. Yeah. Why isn't he playing so-and-so running back? Well, he kind of hurt his ankle a little bit, and we just thought he didn't need to play anymore. Well, that's not publicized, Yeah. And so, media sometimes oversteps their bounds.
Yeah. Dale, we're out of time, buddy. It was just me and you, brother, but we've, looks like we've made it, like the old song. Looks like we made it. How you like that?
Let's get a guest for next week, okay? So we don't have to talk so much.
Well, you did a great job, Dale. Listen, Dale and I appreciate everybody listening in with us. We thank all the folks that do so. We thank WABO and Jamie down there for what they do. We want to remind you that you can follow us during the week on our Facebook page at the Brouhaha, and we also have all the shows cataloged for you online on our YouTube channel at the Brouhaha, and you can just listen to those on demand. But as everybody knows, Dale, we're out of time, so it's time to say goodbye, Dale.
Goodbye, Dale.
Well, goodbye, Dale. Goodbye, folks, and we'll see you next week for more of the Brouhaha. Get us out of here, Jamie.
Phillips Building Supply in Laurel, your hometown building supply store since 1954. We are locally owned and pride ourselves on helping our customers find exactly what they need. From foundations to roofs to doors and windows, Phillips has it. For tools, hardware, lumber, and plywood, visit Phillips Building Supply.
You've been listening to the Brouhaha with Del McKee and Marshall Wood. Heard Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. on WABO. For more of the Brouhaha, follow us during the week on Facebook and WABO.